Hey, what's going on, everyone? Indy here with Ultimate Tour Reviews, and you guys know I love Metabo HPT. We got the Metabo HPT. This is their all-new impact wrench. So this new version is going to be your WR18DH. And of course, the old version, which has been out for quite a while now, is going to be your WR18DL2. More complicated name there. Now, this one is tough, guys, because it seems the specs actually got worse going to the new version on this one. Now, let me explain here, guys. First off, they do not publish a loosening torque or nut-busting torque on the old version. So you're looking at this number here, and if you Google the old version, you're going to see 200 and I think it's like 25 foot-pounds of fastening torque. This one also the same, 225 foot-pounds of fastening torque. Same exact amount of power there, fastening. This one's publishing the nut-busting torque. So it makes me assume that the new version possibly has more power. We'll get to that in a second when I go outside and do some lug nuts, and you're going to see that, it doesn't really make a difference in these two. The old version is cheaper, obviously, because you can find them pretty much everywhere now. They've been on clearance. I got 2 of these for 50 bucks each. And let's check weight on these here quick. 3 pounds, 11 ounces. That's with the new 4 amp hour batteries that come in the kit with this one, which is awesome. And we're at 4 pounds, 2 ounces. So good difference in weight there. Not a lot, but difference in weight there. With the new version being heavier. We're, of course, IP56 on both of them, brushless on both of them. The new one now has 4 speed mode settings and, of course, a auto stop, meaning that when you are pulling off, say, like a bolt, it's going to obviously stop and slow down as that bolt and just kind of go flying off for you. That's always been a really nice feature on a lot of new impacts. But my question, though, is why would you buy the new one now over the old one? There's really not any reason to do it. And in fact, you're almost downgrading in a way because you're getting a heavier and pretty much more expensive tool. Kind of odd there on that one. I will say the new one looks very similar to the much more expensive Makita XGT one. They've got a ton of similarities between these two. Although the XGT does have more power, I will say that. Not a lot, but definitely has more power. And they both kind of came out around the same amount of, I think around the same couple months there. But anyways, the Metabo HPT, this thing is, I think it's only in a kit right now. I thought I saw it somewhere tool only, but I haven't really seen it anywhere else other than maybe online tool only. But really hard to find this thing, anything but a kit right now. The new 4 amp hour batteries are actually pretty nice. Here is a older 2. The 4s look absolutely ginormous compared to the older 2s here. So you can see the 2 and the 4 there. 4's got quite a bit of space, difference here. The 4s do actually have this this kind of newer like rubberized coating on the bottom, which is awesome. Whereas the 2s are just a hard plastic. There's nothing really there for additional, skid protection or anything. I will say, though, the reason they probably put the 4s in is, check this out. The RPM difference between these two is massive. It's a really noticeable. I don't know if you can hear that very well, but super noticeable with, better RPMs out of the 4 amp hour battery. That's really noticeable, and I can see why they include the 4s. The funny thing about the 4s, though, is that battery, it sticks out almost as far as that anvil, if not even a little bit farther. Let me grab a tape measure here and see here. Pretty sure the whole bottom is going to be almost longer than the top. Oh, no, that top's a little bit longer. Okay. So it looks like it's probably just sitting back farther up on the top here, and then the front sitting a little bit farther forward. So, but pretty similar here. But if you use the 2 amp hours, I think the 2 definitely looks a lot better on this thing overall. That seems like it fits a lot better on there. It's definitely a lot shorter. Of course, it gives that longer anvil. Guys, so let's go and check this thing out on some trailer lug nuts here and see how they do and see what happens. Alrighty, let's use the old version here, pop a couple of these lugs, and see how it does. Alright, so of course you can see the old one here is definitely struggling. I used a mid-torque to tighten these, so obviously it's having a bit of an issue popping these things off. There we go. That one came off nice and easy. But yeah, using a mid-torque to tighten these up here, definitely these little compact impacts are going to have a bit of a challenge to get these off here. But let's try the new one. And of course, on both these impacts, I am using a 4 amp hour battery that came with the new one. Nice. Actually got a nice amount of trigger control, which is really nice to see. All right, let's see if we can get the older version to break those off. No problem. Yep. There we go. I will say the newer version feels a bit heavier in the hand is one thing I definitely noticed in these two. All right, so as you can see with the lug nuts on the trailers there, is there a difference? Not really. I didn't really notice anything different other than, of course, this one is heavier to use. That's about it. Very odd choice here. If you guys remember if you follow my channel, I did a video a couple months ago on Makita's new high torque, which they released a new high torque, more expensive, less power. Makes absolutely no sense. And Metabo here, kind of a weird sidestep. Honestly, I don't know why I would recommend this one at all, actually. I would say get the older one. It's going to be a thinner head. Honestly, let me look at the same batteries here. Thinner head, noticeably smaller overall design here. Same amount of power. It's cheaper. Both are IP56 rated. And unless you really want the speed modes, I mean, get the old version. I don't really see any reason to pick up the new version, honestly. It's not a bad tool. It's just kind of like a why upgrade kind of situation here. So that's kind of my two thoughts on this, and I'm trying to figure out other reasons why I would want to, upgrade to the new version here. I mean, the old version does have some speed modes, not as, they don't make as much sense as, 1, 2, 3, 4, where this is kind of like, they got a speed mode on there, a couple of modes down here. Never been a huge fan of this overall design in the old version. But honestly, it's a really confusing thing here with this new one. I'm not really sure what they're aiming for exactly. With this bigger head, I would assume, hey, we're going to have some more power here, which they really should have thrown some more power in this thing, or made it, a really good value here. We're at about a hair under 6 inches of length there. And we're at about the same between the two here. Not a huge difference other than just weight. And let me see here. Looks like the height is about the same too. When you count right about here, right here's about the highest point in the old one, here's about the highest point on the new one. They're about the same height, no matter how you look at them. But the older one is definitely smaller and more compact overall, especially right here in the head. So I don't know what to say, guys. Kind of weird. If there's something I missed, let me know in the comments that makes the new one better. But checking through the spec sheets here, guys, weighing them, using them, I'd say stick with the old one. If you got the old one, stay using that one. If you can find a really good deal on the new one, I actually grabbed this whole kit on eBay for 99 bucks, free shipping. One of those crazy deals I found, and got it in. Was really hopeful it had more power, but I don't really notice it at all. And I looked at other reviews of this thing too, and they were overall positive. But I feel like a lot of these reviewers have never actually used the older version of that tool to really do a comparison here and look at these specs closely, because I don't really see it here, guys. Usually with tools, even a 10-20% difference, I can usually tell pretty quick. These, though, nope, can't really tell here too much. So Metabo HPT, not sure what's going on with this one, but I can't really recommend this new version here at all, unfortunately. So guys, that's what I've got for you today. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there and have a great day.